Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the R&R meeting for Town Council Committee. Veronica Lenzen, if we can all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then a moment of silence to just be grateful for all of the things that we had last week for Thanksgiving. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Margaret, can you call the roll, please?
Veronica Lenzen.
Here.
Richard Wolf.
Here.
Michael Colohan.
Here.
John Foreman.
Here.
Joy Cologne. Kelly Malazzi.
Here.
Steve Lemoyne. And Scott Wick.
Okay, thank you. All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. Mr. Foreman, can you bring Resolution TC 30-100 to the floor?
Certainly. Resolution TC 30-100. Be it resolved that Robert Gerbert, be and the same, is hereby appointed as a member of the Hillcrest Middle School Building Committee.
Second, Kelly Malazzi.
Before we bring Bob up, I need to make a motion to correct the spelling of his last name. There should be a T on his last name.
Second. Does anybody have any questions about that? He really is how he spells his last name. All in favor to amend? Great, thank you. That was unanimous. All right, so that being said, Mr. Foreman, can you please come up and press the, not Mr. Foreman, Mr. Gerbert, can you please come up and press the button and introduce yourself, let us know your address and why you'd like to be on the building committee and maybe a little bit about your experiences in the past.
Sure. Bob Gerbert, 64 Mount Pleasant Drive, Trumbull resident for 10 years, 11 years now. I have two twin boys, 5th grade at Frenchtown Elementary School that go to school with Councilman Foreman. I love Trumbull. My background is in engineering and project management, facilities management, construction management. I've done it for 20 years since graduating college. Did it in Stanford, working for the city. Did it in Newtown, serving as their public school facility director for K-12. Now doing it at the University of New Haven for higher education. So I know this Hillcrest project is very expensive. I know it's near and dear to many folks in Trumbull to their heart because they voted for it. And I know it's the first step to what is hopefully a lot more improvements to our public schools. It's one of the reasons I moved here from Stanford 10 years ago. And I'm all for supporting whatever contributions I can bring to bring that project to life.
Great, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Gerbert? No? Okay. So that being said, can we take this to a vote with the resolution as amended with the correct spelling of his name? If we can take it by unanimous consent, that would be great. Yes? Okay, great. Congratulations, Mr. Gerbert. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Okay, moving right along. Resolution TC 30-101. Ms. Malazzi, can you take that one for us?
Of course, Madam Chairman. Resolution TC 30-101, be it resolved that the reappointment by the First Selectman of Joseph Gaudiano as a member of the Golf Course Commission for a term extending to the first Monday of December 2027 be and the same is hereby approved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Gaudiano, if you could please come up and introduce yourself, give us your address, and let us know why you'd like to do this again.
Joe Gaudiano, 56 Frederick Street. I've been a member of the Golf Commission since 2018. Since that time, we've had record-setting years. We've invested $2.2 million in new equipment and continue to have a 10-year capital investment plan that we've just implemented.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Gaudiano?
Your handicap, just for record.
It's too high for the record.
That's fair.
Thank you for your honesty.
That's okay. We need golfers like that to really weigh in on making sure the course is good for everybody. All right. So if there's no other questions, fair or otherwise, can we take this motion by unanimous consent or resolution? Great. Congratulations, and thank you very much for agreeing to serve. Okay, moving on to item number 3, Resolution TC 30-102. Mr. Wolf, can you take that one to the floor, please?
Absolutely. Resolution TC 30-102, be it resolved that the reappointment by First Selectman of Michelle Dowling as a member of the Golf Course Commission for a term extending to the first Monday of December 2027 be and the same and hereby approved.
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Dowling? There you are. If you could please just introduce yourself, give us your address, and let us know also why you would in fact like to do this again.
The button, please. My name is Michelle Dowling. I live at 20. Oh, I'm sorry. Push the button.
Otherwise the people out there can't hear you.
Okay, Michelle Dowling, 26 Scattergood Circle in Trumbull. Been a resident for 34 years. I have been on the Golf Commission for 5, and I think I know what I'm doing, hopefully now, so I'm willing to continue.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Yeah, you have to.
We're also going to ask about your handicap as well.
Oh, yeah, you can't discriminate, and I'm with Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If there are no other questions, can we take this to a vote? And by unanimous consent? Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you very much for volunteering. Okay. Mr. Colohan, can you please take Resolution TC 30-103 to the floor?
Resolution TC 30-103, be it resolved that the reappointment by the First Selectman of Nathan Moyer as a member of the Golf Course Commission for a term extending to the first Monday of December 2027 be and the same is hereby approved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Moyer, can you please introduce yourself, give us your address, and let us know why you would in fact like to do this? I'm very excited that all these people are coming back, by the way.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Nathan Moyer, 5 Butternut Lane. I've been on the Golf Commission for a couple years now, and I've been the vice chair for the past 2 years. You'd never know it from my golf score, but I enjoy golf. My handicap is in the 20s, Mr. Wolf. I know you're going to ask that. But no, it's a great commission. We have a great group of individuals, and we really want to make it the best one in the state is our goal.
Great. Thank you so much. If there are no other questions, can we take this to a vote? And by unanimous consent? Wonderful. Congratulations and thank you and welcome aboard again. Okay. Ms. Malazzi, can you bring Resolution TC 30-104 to the floor?
Certainly, Madam Chairman. Resolution TC 30-104, be it resolved that $17,509 is hereby appropriated from the general fund to 01060000567703 Transportation Expense Non-Public Schools, BOE 009 account, fiscal year 2023-2024.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, I was just informed this evening that members of the Board of Ed are not actually here to answer questions. I know that our caucus did have some questions, so we would very much like to pass this on to council without recommendation, if that's okay with you.
Through the chair, yeah, I agree, because I also have questions. So
Excellent.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And I don't know when our meeting is, but I'm sure they'll be there for the full council.
Okay, and that's by unanimous consent that we're pushing it forward without recommendation? Great. All right, thank you. Okay, I don't believe we have any other business, and look at that, it is in fact 12 minutes, as I guessed earlier.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, everybody, once again.
Oh, you don't want the doors closed? Okay. Okay, thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the December 5th meeting of the Legislative and Administrative Committee. If you'll all please stand now for a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Good evening, everyone. Do we have a motion from the floor?
We do, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I would move that we take resolution number 3, that's TC 30-107, out of order to do that first, given that we will likely have to go into executive session for the first resolution on the agenda.
Okay, is everyone agreeable to that?
Do we need to do roll call first?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can the clerk please do a roll call?
Joseph Pifko. Here. Michael Buswell.
Here.
Steve Lemoyne. Veronica Lenzen.
Here.
Jason Marsh.
Here.
Ashley Gaudiano.
Here.
Tony Cinto. Nicole Satin. Here.
Thank you.
So I'll second that motion that Mr. Marsh made regarding moving TC 30-107 to the first thing, and we can take a vote from there.
Okay, very good. Mr. Marsh, can you please bring TC 30-107 to the floor, please?
I think we just have to vote on the motion to take out of order.
All right, can we take it?
Agreed.
Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you.
All right. Resolution TC 30-107, be it resolved that the Town of Trumbull value statement is hereby adopted. Full resolution attached.
Second.
Okay. For the record, Mr. Marsh, will you please read the full resolution?
Certainly. The Town of Trumbull is a vibrant community with a rich history and a bright future. We recognize and value diversity as an essential part of who we are. Trumbull is committed to ensuring all residents, students, employees, vendors, and visitors are treated with dignity and respect, fostering a safe and welcoming atmosphere. We believe the unique experiences, identities, and backgrounds of individuals enrich our community. Everyone in our town deserves fair and equal access to facilities, programs, resources, and services with respect and courtesy extended to all. A sustainable and equitable future is possible when we thoughtfully consider how our policies and decisions affect the environment, people, and the economy.
Thank you, Mr. Marsh. Is there anyone here to speak to the resolution?
Mr. Trop is here as the chair of edit.
Can you please state your name and inform us?
The button, please.
It's red to the
Base of the microphone.
Right where the red is.
Got it.
That may have been the hard part. I hope so.
A lawyer, not an engineer.
We'll figure out if I'm any good at either. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jonathan Trop. I do have the privilege and honor of chairing the Edit Task Force, and I'm happy to be here this evening to talk to you about the value statement and the importance of it from our perspective for the town of Trumbull. I will speak only very briefly. I don't want to presume to know what it is that you might want to know about the value statement. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions to the best of my ability. But if you'll give me maybe 60 to 120 seconds, I will give you my thoughts on the subject. From my perspective, the value statement that we have put before you is not about political values, it's not about Democrat values, it's not about Republican values, it's about Trumbull values. And we think that it is appropriate for the town of Trumbull to adopt a value statement in order to proclaim to the world what our values are and to proclaim to the people who are within our borders, come within our borders, interact with us, who we are and what we believe. There are a variety of reasons for that, but one of the reasons for that is that it is sort of self-fulfilling. It helps when people know that we value inclusiveness, we value one another, we value people being treated fairly, we want people to feel welcome. That makes them feel more welcome, that makes them feel more included. And so from our perspective, it is important that the town council adopt a value statement for the town in order to formalize the core beliefs that we believe are already present in the town and that make the town the great place to live that it is. The value statement is based upon a variety of sources of information, including our review of value statements of other towns in Connecticut and elsewhere, our evaluation of core documents within the town of Trumbull, including a similar kind of a statement that was adopted within our education department, and our views of what the town of Trumbull is all about. From our perspective, it is baseball and apple pie. I don't think the statement itself is very controversial, but I would be happy to try to answer any questions or any concerns you might have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the floor?
Jonathan, how long have you lived in Trumbull?
I'd have to do the math, but about 3 decades.
Are we not already doing this? Like, the need to put this in the value statement? Like, do you feel like we're not inclusive currently? Or are people confused with the current message we have?
I don't think that we have a central message. I don't think that we're not doing this. I think that in order to do it well and to do it better, we should adopt a value statement so that, as I said, it's a virtuous circle. In other words, you may have a perfectly friendly neighbor. You may, when you see them, wave to them and be happy about it. But it helps if you actually interact and say hi and say, "Hi, neighbor. It's nice to get to know you." This is about that kind of a welcome mat and a greeting and letting people know that this is what we believe. If you're thinking about moving into the town of Trumbull and you don't know us, if you're thinking about doing business with the town of Trumbull and you don't know us, this is a way of telling the world who we are. It's not that we're not doing it. It's not that you won't figure it out if you first give us the chance. It's about making sure that we tell the world, this is the kind of place we are. We look forward to doing business with you. We look forward to living next to you.
I appreciate that. I mean, I think that's how we're all raised. I'm fine with passing this along, but I assumed we were all doing this and being as welcoming to our neighbors, but I'm fine with it.
I think you would find that that is true, and it is also true that there are some of our neighbors who don't quite feel that and would be very gratified to know that the town, in fact, is prepared to endorse this value statement so that they know that they are welcome and feel so.
Yes, Veronica?
What has the committee planned for how they are going to disseminate this, enforce? I don't think that's the right word. Establish, I guess really disseminate and establish this, should it be passed and adopted by the town?
There's no intention to enforce.
That's why I said, I pulled back. Enforce was not the right word. Disseminate and
the answer, I think, to that question is no.
Okay.
I would say that, as with other information that is adopted within the town of Trumbull, I would anticipate that it would be made available on the town website and in other ways. There is not a plan, at least not that we have conceived, to
share.
Push it.
Share, I guess, would be another word to use.
To push
Yeah.
it. We do expect that it will be shared.
Okay. I was just curious if there was a plan for publications or postings or any of that kind of stuff yet.
There is not.
Okay.
I mean, I would think that it is quite possible that if this were adopted, Edit might send a letter to the editor of the Trumbull Times and want to let people know about it. But no, there's no plan.
Okay, great, thank you.
Ms. Gaudiano?
Thank you. I was just going to say that when I looked at what other towns have, it's on like the About section on a town website, right? Or where you might have mission or history, vision. The values statement sometimes shows up, at least in the Connecticut towns who have values statements.
Any other questions? Anything else you'd like to contribute?
I thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, thank you. All right, all in favor?
Have a good evening, everybody.
You too. Okay. GC 30 no, we're not, we're taking it out of order. So we're going back to resolution number 1, TC 30-105. Mr. Buswell, will you bring that to the floor, please?
Sure. Resolution TC 30-105 to consider and act upon a resolution which would approve Downs Construction as a construction manager for the Trumbull Veterans and First Responders Center project as recommended by the Trumbull Veterans and First Responders Center Building Committee.
Second.
Just a point of order, Mr. Chairman. I think we have to read the resolution as it appears on the agenda and then move to amend to add the name.
Okay. All right, Mr. Buswell, will you read the resolution as it is stated in the agenda, please?
Sure. Resolution TC 30-105 to consider and act upon a resolution which would approve.
Go to the next page.
Resolution TC 30-105, be it resolved that blank is hereby approved as a construction manager for the Trumbull Veterans and First Responders Center project as recommended by the Trumbull Veterans and First Responders Center Building Committee.
Second. And Chairman Pifko, I'd like to make a motion that we amend Resolution TC 30-105 to include the name Downs Construction where it was previously written as blank.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All in favor? Mr. Shopik, would you like to speak to this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You recall the town council approved $150,000 in ARPA funds to fund the construction manager for the Veterans Center Building Committee. The Building Committee at its meeting last night interviewed the first of all the low bidder and the endorsed bidder, which was Downs Construction, and they voted unanimously to recommend that Downs Construction be the construction manager. So that's my report. If you have any questions about it, they came in within the $150,000 that was allocated, and their contract will be essentially a not to exceed. And they did review with the committee how they were going to provide regular supervision, regular inspections, and reports to the committee so that the committee could utilize that information in going forward with the project. Downs has a very good reputation with the town. They did work for the police station, and Chief Lombardo was at the meeting. Is a member of the committee. He was at the meeting last night. Said that he had very good experience with them. I believe they've also done work with the Long Hill Fire Station, so they're familiar with the town, and we would ask that you approve that.
Mr. Pifko. We did talk about this a little bit before, but just to confirm and make note of it so that it's in the minutes. Should this be moved to council, council will need to consider emergency legislation for this,
Yes,
given the
please.
time frame?
As you recall, we have a December 31st contracting date that we have to meet for ARPA.
Okay.
So yes, we would.
Okay, so we'll just make
appreciate
sure that's
emergency.
in the minutes tonight to remind us to talk about it again then. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you for giving us some history about what they've done in the past. That was my other question.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from the floor? Okay, hearing none. All in favor? Thank you. Resolution number 2, which is TC 30-106. Ms. Staton, will you please bring it to the floor?
Resolution TC 30-106, be it resolved that the town attorney is hereby authorized to settle a workers' compensation claim known as James R. Leo versus the town of Trumbull.
Second, do we need to go
Thank
into
you.
executive session for this?
Yes, we do.
I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session.
And it's seconded. Okay, we will go into executive session as of 7:35.
And we need to point out who needs to be in the executive session.
Yeah, so in addition to the L&A committee and Mr. Shopik and
Cindy Katsky.
And who else?
Tom McCarthy, the HR director, and we have Ralph Archer, and we have Mike Bonapane, Kerma, and our outside attorney for workers' comp.
Okay, thank you. All right, hang on a second.
Purpose is settlement of pending litigation.
Yes, sir. Hang on. Okay, thank you. Let it be noted that we came out of executive session at 8:08. All in favor of moving TC 30-106 to the town council? Thank you very much. Is there anything else on the floor?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you very much. Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Gap insurance.